If there's one player who knows how to shine in decisive moments, that player is Mohamed Salah. In a thrilling derby against Everton, which ended in a 2-2 draw, the Egyptian star not only helped Liverpool secure an important result, but also etched his name in Premier League history with yet another impressive record. The clash at Goodison Park had all the ingredients of a classic: goals, controversies, and plenty of emotion. Liverpool fell behind after a goal from Beto, but Salah, as always, was ready to respond. And he did it in style. The Reds' number 11 delivered a perfect assist to Alexis Mac Allister, who rose with precision to head the ball into the net and level the score. That alone would have been enough to highlight Salah's importance, but he didn't stop there. With that assist and the goal he later scored, Salah reached an astonishing milestone of 23 direct goal involvements in away matches this Premier League season, something no one had ever achieved before. This means he broke a record that had stood since the 1993-94 season, when Andy Cole, formerly of Manchester United, recorded 21 goal contributions away from home. Now, the Egyptian is officially the player with the biggest impact in away matches in a single Premier League campaign. And there's more. Salah has taken the lead in the Premier League's top scorer race with 22 goals so far, leaving Erling Haaland behind. The Manchester City forward, known for his ruthless finishing inside the box, now has a giant shadow looming over him in the battle for the Golden Boot. But the story doesn't end there. Beyond this incredible feat, Liverpool's number 11 is closing in on one of the most legendary records in Premier League history: Thierry Henry's dominant 2002-3 campaign. Back then, the Arsenal icon scored 24 goals and provided 20 assists, becoming the only player in league history to surpass both 20 goals and 20 assists in a single season. At the peak of his powers at 32 years old, Salah already has 14 assists this season, and with 14 rounds still to go, it wouldn't be surprising to see him reach, or even surpass, the Frenchman's record. Former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand has already acknowledged Salah's brilliance and believes he could indeed break this record. Meanwhile, Henry, who has always praised Salah publicly, might be hoping he slows down, at least to keep his name at the top of history. With Arne Slot leading the team and Salah in top form, Liverpool fans have every reason to dream big this season. The only question left is, how far can this Egyptian genius go? If his hunger for goals and assists is anything to go by, the sky is the limit. Football is a game of intense and contrasting emotions. At the same club where Mohamed Salah shines and breaks historic records, another player developed at Anfield may be bidding farewell in a quiet and melancholic manner. While the spotlight remains on the Egyptian star, who continues to lead Liverpool in the title race and carve his name into Premier League history, Tyler Morton faces a completely opposite fate. At 22 years old, the young midfielder, once seen as a promising talent for the club, now finds himself cornered by a serious shoulder injury, one that could not only end his season, but also his time with the Reds. The contrast between Salah and Morton is brutal. On one side, an icon who keeps pushing the limits. On the other, a promising talent who may never wear the shirt of the club that developed him again. In recent years, Liverpool has struggled with severe injury issues that have affected their performance and limited their coach's options. However, under Arne Slot's management, the situation has been much more controlled and the team has managed to maintain a healthier squad. The recent recovery of Trent Alexander-Arnold before the derby against Everton was an example of this. But not everyone has been so lucky. Tyler Morton, who was already struggling to earn minutes on the pitch, now sees his situation take a drastic turn for the worse. After being sidelined for 2 weeks due to a shoulder problem, the midfielder received the worst possible news. He will need surgery and could be out for up to 3 months. This means his season has ended earlier than expected, and for many, This injury might also symbolise the end of his journey at Liverpool. Since being promoted to the first team, Morton never truly established himself in the squad. After returning from successful loan spells in the Championship, he was expected to get more opportunities. However, fate seemed to have other plans for him. The lack of space in Slot's squad was already an issue, but the injury has now practically sealed his fate. During the last transfer window, Morton was valued at £20 million, but Liverpool couldn't find buyers willing to pay that amount. Now, after a season with few appearances and a long recovery ahead, the club may be forced to lower his price in the next window. The young midfielder had a promising path in English football, standing out at Blackburn Rovers and Hull City during his loan spells. However, his stay at Liverpool was never guaranteed. The expectation was that if he couldn't secure a place under Slot, he could either be loaned out again or even sold. But the injury further compromised his situation, making a return to the first team practically impossible. Now, with his name circulating among Championship clubs and even some Premier League sides, the question remains, what will be the next step in his career? The reality is that even if Liverpool wants to reintegrate him for next season, Morton might choose to find a new team where he has a better chance of playing regularly. If Liverpool could turn back time, they might have made different decisions regarding Morton's future. A loan in the last transfer window would have been the best option, ensuring he got minutes on the pitch and continued his development. However, the club chose to keep him in the squad, and now they are paying the price for that decision. Morton's time at Liverpool wasn't spectacular, but it also can't be considered a failure. With 14 appearances for the club, he had his moments, showed talent, and proved to be a quality player. However, sometimes football is ruthless. If this is truly his farewell, he can look back with pride at having worn the shirt of one of the biggest clubs in the world. But at the same time, there is a lingering sense that things could have been different. A promising talent who, due to the circumstances of the game, may never get the chance to fully showcase his potential at the club that nurtured him. While Mohamed Salah continues his glorious journey at Liverpool, breaking records and leaving his mark on history, Morton bids farewell in silence. No celebrations, no tributes, just the uncertainty of the future. That is football. For some, eternal glory. For others, a quiet and bittersweet goodbye.